Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, several big things I want to talk about. Number one is Ethereum saved by unseen force, unseen agency? So let's talk about that. What is that all about? Gary Gensler's probably not happy about this bill. Also, Solana, its recent hack, there is an update and someone is smiling about it. And lastly, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin. All right, let's get started. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com. And make sure you follow brand new channels, which I posted a few videos today. So let's do this. Welcome. I gotta fix my screen here. But hopefully you guys are doing okay today. Today's not too shabby. Looking pretty good right now. You could see Bitcoin is above 23,000. 23,200. No, I don't have my bell with me, but I will get it tomorrow. I have this new bell on order, but I don't know if I should use it though. But anyways, off topic. So today looking pretty good so far, 23.2, right? So we are definitely moving in the right direction. Overall, U.S. market did really well today. So today is an overall pretty good day. You look at crypto's market cap up about 2%, closing in at 1.1 trillion once again. So these are all fantastic things. Did I see the Saylor interview on CNBC this morning? I did not. You said it's great. I would say it's pretty much, I'm willing to guess that it's like every other interview he's ever done, which he just remains very bullish on every single one. Very bullish on Bitcoin. But I'll check it out later, but I'm pretty sure I already know what it's all about. But I do want to talk about Saylor in a little bit, at least his company. In terms of economic news today, Fed, not Powell, but Fed Bullard, right, did a speech. I guess they're talking about inflation, of course, and what this next rate hike would be in September. We got 2 months. We don't have to worry about anything in August. And the next one could be 50 basis points. And it could be even lower. It really depends on, what happens this month and what happens, of course, next month, right? But if inflation numbers do come down and they taper out, right, then obviously the Feds could be a little bit more dovish and don't have to be so aggressive with the rate hikes. I mean, that's stating the obvious, right? But will it happen? We don't know yet. We don't know. But here's the funny thing. Here's some of you guys may get a chuckle out of this. So San Francisco Fed president was asked about inflation. Well, she says, well, I don't feel the pain of inflation anymore. Right? She thinks that it's like, okay, I've gotten used to it. I know inflation's bad, but I don't feel it anymore. But, people dug and found out, well, maybe she doesn't feel it because she's making $420,000 a year. Maybe that's the reason. If she was making $42,000 a year, it could be a different story, right? So, yeah. just wanna point that out. That I would say most Americans are not making $420,000 a year. And that's why most Americans are feeling the pain of inflation, right? So there's that. What else is there? Robinhood, the CEO, Vlad, I bet he hates hearing from a lot of people, including myself, saying that Robinhood's going to be taken over by FTX. Well, he came out and said, no, don't worry about it. We're not interested in a takeover by FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, even though they bought a 7.6% stake. We got $6 billion of cash. We could do what we want with it. Well, if they had $6 billion in cash and they could do what they want with it, why did they just lay off 24% of their work staff, right? $6 billion, a lot. It's a lot of money. But why did they lay off so many people? So it's interesting what's really happening behind the scenes with Robinhood and whether or not FTX is really going to buy them out. FTX is very, very ambitious right now. Sam Bankman-Fried really wants to take over everything. Will he? Only time will tell. What else is there? Well, Walmart's also laying off corporate employees right now. So Walmart's not feeling so hot right now with everything that's going on. And you know who else is not looking so good is Lucid. I bring this up because I find it quite funny because there are a lot of people that think, oh, you know, Lucid and Rivian and all these new EV companies will just take over Tesla. You know, Tesla's dead. This is funny. It's comical to look at the delivery number. Lucid, for all that they are and all the attention and all the market cap, they delivered 679 cars in the second quarter. 679. This shows the distance between everyone else, like Lucid, and Tesla, that is like a mile above in the air, right? So it's really laughable that I hear about all these people saying, oh, yeah, Lucid, so awesome. They're going to take over Tesla. Just take a step back and look at what they're actually doing. And Rivian also has cut their production. No one can make any cars. You know who can make cars right now? It's Tesla. They're breaking their records leaps and bounds, right? They're the only ones that actually is delivering and increasing their deliveries. Everyone else is struggling hard. This is why I think like Lucid and Rivian, I don't know if they can stay around. If they're producing less than 700 cars per quarter, you do the math. That's less than what? 5,000, 4,000 cars in a year? They are not going to survive off of that. That's just utterly ridiculous. So I just want to pinpoint that because that's just laughable, really laughable. I'm shocked that their stock isn't down like 100% in after hours because that's just so ridiculous. Anyways, all right, moving on to a stock that is doing well. It's MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy stock actually went up today very significantly, 13%, a day after Michael Saylor announced he was stepping down as CEO, and now he is the executive chairman, right? Someone just said, well, I put a picture of Gary. I actually thought about that, going to like that company, Fatheads. I think you could get any picture you want and put on the wall. I'll put a picture of Gary right behind me. That's a good idea. But anyways, the market's cheering that Michael Saylor is no longer CEO. That I don't know. Is that expected? I don't know. I don't know. But supposedly he's been doing a lot of interviews. Someone just mentioned about him doing an interview on CNBC this morning. I'm pretty sure I already know what he said, which is basically, yeah, I'm going to evaluate more ways for us to buy more Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the way, and we will continue to move forward. I mean, basically, MicroStrategy is owned by Michael Saylor, right? Even though there's a board, there's other members, right? But his voting rights is way more than anyone else. MicroStrategy is Michael Saylor, so that's not going to change. But Wall Street is cheering this on. We'll see. We'll see if this continues. We know MicroStrategy stock has been hammered, so we will see if that continues. What else is there? Starbucks is going to unveil some Web3-based rewards program next month. Something to do with NFTs, maybe. They have a rewards program already, app-based, but I don't know what this means. Probably something to do with NFTs. Everyone is getting involved with NFTs right now, right? So it could be some new thing. And I don't know who they're partnering with. Maybe they're going to partner with Polygon, right? I don't know. Black Tornado, thank you. So we'll see. But of course, all the brands are still getting in and trying to get in as fast as they can, right? I'm actually talking with, I don't know if I could reveal it, but I'm talking with DraftKings right now. They have something cool going on for the NFL season that I can't reveal. But if they come out with it, which I think they will be absolutely killer. And it does involve NFTs as well. So everyone is trying to get in. All right, moving on. As for Bitcoin, Bitcoin is doing well right now. Obviously, 23,000 plus. There is another options expiration this Friday. Pretty substantial one, 510 millions. So that's pretty big. And if Bitcoin could break above to 25 to 26,000, the bulls will win 200 million and cause a lot of shorts to go bye-bye, and a lot of short squeezes and liquidations. That's what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin break above 25,000 by the end of the week. Can it happen? Why not? 25,000 isn't far. It's less than 10% from where we are. It could certainly happen. I'm looking forward to it. All right. And also Ark Invest. Ark Invest. You know what's funny? I don't think anyone calculated. Remember Cathie Wood just dumping all of her Coinbase stock for, I think, Shopify? Coinbase stock, ever since she dumped it, has been skyrocketing, right? I bet if someone calculated how much she's missed, probably like 30 or 40% within just a matter of a week. So I bet that was... I bet, yeah, she did not like that decision. And she's going to be crucified for that. But one of her team members still thinks that Bitcoin is still going to rally, and 240% from here. So that's obviously good. And she's basing it off of the 200 weekly moving average. This is something a lot of traders are looking at. So only seven times in Bitcoin's history has this happened where Bitcoin fell below, bounced off of it, and started going up, and on average, 240% gains right afterwards. So Ark Invest is very bullish on Bitcoin once again, though they sold out on Coinbase. I get it because they're scared of the SEC, but if you believe in Bitcoin, right, probably should not have sold off Coinbase because Coinbase has been rallying hard over the last week or so. All right, and then also Bitcoin miners hold almost 2 million in BTC, 2-year high. There were some fears that miners were selling off the reserve. You know what? It looks like it was one giant fake out because you could see there was a big steep drop off, and guess what? Boom, right back to where they were and even higher. So obviously the miners are not giving up. They are moving forward, and most of them are hoarding as much as they can, not selling a single one moving forward. Why would you want to? You wouldn't want to at this point, right? All right, now let's talk about some altcoin news. I did lead off with Ethereum saved by the new bill. What bill is this? What ally comes to the rescue? Well, it's the CFTC. I said this to you guys before. You know, the SEC and Gary wants to dominate the world, but the CFTC and other agencies are like, no, right? We control commodities. And right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are deemed commodities, right? No matter what Gary thinks, on paper, it's been declared that Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities, both. And if that's the case, CFTC controls commodities. SEC controls securities, right? So there is a new bill from the Senate that basically designates the CFTC to regulate Bitcoin and Ethereum and basically all future commodities, right? I think Gary knows this. This is why he's so desperate to try to make everything a security. Because if they're deemed security, then of course it's under his jurisdiction and he wants to control everything. Reddit controls all of equities market, right? Options market, ETF, everything he controls. He wants to control crypto too, right? But not everything is a security, Gary. And I'm glad to see we have some allies. We have some people that also think the same way. So can Ethereum be saved by this new bill basically being deemed as a commodity and Gary can't change that anymore? Possibly. right now, it's still set. Ethereum is a commodity, not a security. Even though Gary wants to make it a security, because if it is, then it takes the defense away from Ripple. Because Ripple is holding on to the fact that Ethereum was deemed a commodity. They want that evidence. The SEC will not give it to them. They are dragging their feet as much as possible. So they are trying as hard as they can to try to reverse course and say, no, Ethereum is not a commodity, it's a security, because then it takes the defense away from Ripple. But unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, that's not going to happen, right? So most likely, I think Ripple is going to win, and it's going to be a huge thing for all crypto, and that's what we want to see, right? Gary is getting a little too greedy right now. All right, so there's that for Ethereum. Now, as for Solana, it turns out that the network was not breached. A lot of fear that Solana itself, the entire network, the chain, was breach vulnerable, right? That's why it seemed like there was random wallet addresses just being drained out of nowhere, 9,000 to be exact, right? And people didn't know what the hell is going on. Well, it turns out it's due to Slope Wallet and their basically shitty code, okay? They inadvertently somehow let private keys out in the open. Hackers saw it and took advantage. I don't know the details, but somehow they inadvertently transmitted private key information. Slope Wallet, obviously, not a non-custodial wallet, because if it was, they wouldn't even have information to your private keys, right? That's what a non-custodial wallet means. You control your keys. It's not on their servers. It's not distributed anywhere. So Slope Wallet obviously is not a non-custodial wallet. So somehow they transferred it, and luckily, it was not a mass scale kind of vulnerability, because if so, then billions upon billions would have been liquidated and stolen, and that would have been like probably the end of Solana. Luckily, that did not happen. It turns out that even people that were affected on the Phantom wallet, it has something to do with Slope Wallet. Like if you imported an address, or you at one point in time sent some funds from Slope, everything traces back to Slope. So right now they are looking at Slope Wallet very carefully to make sure that there's no more vulnerabilities out there. So if you are using a Slope Wallet, you should get your Solana funds out immediately if you still have Solana funds in there, right? Do not trust Slope Wallet. Phantom Wallet is kind of iffy right now. The best is actually to just go with a ledger, put your Solana on a ledger, or go with like a Trust Wallet right now, which seems to be also secure, because I have my Solana on Trust Wallet, and it seems to be good right now. But I think the best is still hardware wallet if you can get your hands on one. All right. And Charles tweeted this. He didn't come out specifically laughing, but that is what he's doing behind the scenes, right? Because it does seem like a lot of people attack Charles and Cardano for being so slow and pushing things back to make sure they are right 100%. Well, who's laughing now, right? You look at all the problems that's been happening with all these projects, all these hacks, all these vulnerabilities. Is it worth it to be pushing out so quickly? When it comes to like a regular app, a game, an operating system like Windows, if there's vulnerabilities, okay, you can patch it, right? You don't have hundreds of millions of crypto or funds or assets being stolen, right? So when it comes to crypto projects, it does definitely seem now, and I'm pretty sure people have argued this since the beginning, it's better to be safe than sorry. So it's better to slow things down, make sure you get it right, rather than rush it out. That's always been Charles's model, but so far, Cardano has not been hacked. Knock on wood, even though my table's not made of wood. All right, and then lastly, there is another exchange called ZB.com. They label themselves as the world's most secure exchange. and they get hacked for $5 million. Okay. People saw this. The exchange itself supposedly did not come out with more information. So I've never heard of zb.com. I never used it. Hopefully you guys didn't either. But again, looks like another hack that has happened. So again, protecting your own funds is probably the safest move at this point. All right. I think that's pretty much it. The only, I guess, yeah, that's it. Today is Wednesday. So that means it's DCA day. So I brought it up, right? So overall, let's just say 24 hours up, I was saying about 3.5%. The last week, 2.7. Last month, 28% from bottom. That's not bad. Last 3 months, down 25%. All started beginning, going back last year, down 39%. But this number was way better. If you guys remember, last week when I did this, it was like negative 45%. And at the very bottom, when Bitcoin was at 17,000, it was at like negative 54% or something. So we are definitely recovering up. And that's the whole point of DCA. You may be down like this. And I know many people are down, right? But I'm going to show you guys. Slow and steady wins the race, right? And we'll keep DCAing $100 every single week. All right. This week, I haven't really thought about it. But looking at my breakdown, I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Cardano, BNB, VeChain, Cosmos, Phantom. These are all fantastic L1s. ApeCoin has been doing well, really well recently. Avalanche is coming up. I haven't heard much about Decentraland. Chainlink is still hanging in there. Polkadot hanging in there. Cardano hanging in there. Although CADX just opened up their new wallet recently. Ucomi's okay. Theta's okay. Near Harmony. Harmony is not doing that well, but today actually they're coming up a little bit. XRP, Gala, Doge, Arweave, AMP. AMP has been struggling a lot because supposedly SEC declared them as a security. Sheeb and Stacks. You know what? I think I'm probably a little light on some of these L1s. I'm probably a little bit light on Polkadot, Avalanche. I could throw Cardano in there, but they're like a smaller cap, so they're probably going to take a little bit longer to come up. Near also, a little light in that. So I think I'm going to go with, or maybe I should just put all in XRP. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm going to go with Near and Polkadot. Kind of light on these, especially Near. So Near, in case you guys are wondering, is a promising L1. Kind of like Solana. Not nearly as many outages and problems. So I'm going to do like $50 in Near this week. So 50 divided by whatever they are at. 464.5, so that's about 10.76. All right, and then I'm gonna put 25 in Polkadot, and then 25 in Avalanche. All right, 25 divided by 8.19. Okay, so it's 3.052. And then 25 into Avalanche. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Go back. Avalanche, add 25 divided by 23.71. So only 1.054. All righty. All right, let's see where we end up next week. We know that altcoins have been coming up in a big way. Same thing with Bitcoin, but right now, a lot of the L1s, they are definitely starting to gain a lot of traction, so that is positive. There you go. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. I don't actually have any water with me. I wish I had water. All right, let me scroll up here. This is how you end up not making life-changing wealth. They scare you into sell to make you pay taxes. The rich is patient. That's from 415. I kind of agree with you there. Selling means you have to pay taxes. If you don't want to pay taxes, don't sell. Just hold it. So that is right. All right. Matic is great for scaling. That is right. A lot of people still mentioning, oh, you should have something in the background. I'm purposely not having anything in the background because I am dual purposing this studio, obviously. Trying to build up my Reacts channel, which I released a video today. But that's the reason why. I could just change the colors up. Livia, I love your lives even more now you're talking about the stock market. Thank you. I mean, I've been slowly incorporating it. You know, I don't want to be like turning into 100% into stocks or anything like that. But I definitely recognize a lot of you guys watching me. You're an investor, right? Investor in equities, investors in options or ETFs, bonds, maybe gold and crypto. But I would think mostly in crypto. But there's definitely a lot of good opportunities out there right now with everything. Everything has fallen so much within the last 8 months. So many opportunities, right? So many. Jason, I'm not going to repeat what you just said. Hellcat, thank you, man. The real Stega Roach, best live stream in business. I appreciate that. Why is LDO Little doing so well? You know, I think because when it comes to DeFi staking, really they kind of lead this space right now. You think about so many people got burned by CeFi lending, right? Or staking, I should say. So now they're looking for, okay, what's the best DeFi? So you have like Aave, Compound, but Lido kind of like came out of nowhere because they do a lot of liquid staking, which is very popular, especially among ETH holders. So I think that's the reason why they come up. But I don't, you know, grand scheme of things, still under $1 billion, which still makes them like a small cap. If they're not even above $1 billion, they're not even considered a small, a mid cap. So yeah, they still have a lot of potential. One of the projects to keep your eyes on for sure. Let's see. All I know is I'm all in on ETH right now. Okay. A little, I don't know if risky is the word, but I would say a little diversification could definitely help you. But I am bullish on ETH as well. Let's put it that way. XRP video day. I think you're referring, Lambo, to my educational video, which I do have ready. I'm the only person on the planet Earth that has that educational video. And I have it ready. All right, trying to catch up here. Joe Lamas, it feels like people in crypto really jump to conclusions like Sol clearly wasn't hacked. But if you read Twitter, you would think, this is the reason why I stay off Twitter. I don't check anything on Twitter. I check it for news because breaking news does come out on Twitter, but I don't read the comments. I don't read notification. I don't read replies to me because right now it's just not a good time to be on Twitter, and you just don't know. There's too much mob mentality right now. Way too much tribalism. Like almost engaging in chat on Twitter just kills brain cells, honestly. There is no point of engaging anyone on Twitter because you're just going to be faced with trolls and haters and irrational people that will just kill brain cells. So stay off Twitter. Through all the craziness and FUD, BTC is a definition of steady wins the race. I can't disagree with that. People that have made the most in crypto, I would still argue, I've done it with Bitcoin, and They done it by holding the longest. I mean, can't dispute that. Danielle, what do you think about XYO, San Diego base? I want to support my own town. I mean, there's nothing wrong with XYO. It's a layer 1. They really started out, they're kind of like their niche is location based. So that, you can have IoT devices that can report, where they are, and they can communicate with each other. So it's almost like, if you remember the app Foursquare. It's like Foursquare on a blockchain, right? But I think they kind of got away from that. They want to just turn themselves into a full-blown L1. Yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it. Can they do well in the future? Sure. Someone says XYO's on SEC's shit list. Yeah, a lot of projects on SEC's shit list. I was looking at this article, right? And then there was 9 that was listed in here by the SEC. So these 9 were deemed securities by the SEC. That's on Coinbase. AMP, which is why they got delisted from Binance.us recently. Rally, XYO, unfortunately, they're US based. So most likely SEC has already sent them a letter. Power Ledger, and I'm not sure. LCX is Loopring, I think, right? And I'm not sure what these DDX, RGT, or CROM is. DFX, I don't know what that is too. But I mean, this is the reason why there's a petition out there to remove Gary Gensler, because he's just like saying, okay, these are securities, does not give a reason for it, right? And then basically you're like guilty until proven. But the U.S. justice system should be the opposite. You're innocent until proven guilty. But with the SEC, it's like you're guilty, and then you have to prove yourself to be innocent, but they don't tell you why you're guilty. So how do you defend yourself if you don't know that you're guilty or why you're guilty? That's what Ripple's facing right now. They're like, you say we're security, but you don't tell us, why, right? And you don't show us any evidence of some of the projects you deem non-securities, like Ethereum. And the SEC will refuse to give that up. Why? Right? You think the SEC will give that up and say, okay, this is why we think Ethereum is not a security. We think it's a commodity. Here are the reasons, right? Why would they not give that up to companies they're suing? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways. Can you call any new interesting DAOs? I've never been a fan of DAOs, to be honest. I think DAOs are like, I don't know. How do you what's the best way to describe DAOs? They're like decent, supposedly like the crypto version of hedge funds, basically. Some DAOs are controlled supposedly by the people, but mostly the projects still control it or control most of their rights. Basically, they invest in projects that they feel is worthy of investing in. But they're supposed to be decentralized, and the power is supposed to be given to the people to decide who to invest in and how much and stuff. But most of the DAOs I've seen does not operate that way. I don't know. I've never been a big DAO guy. I think you misunderstand Sailor. BTC has went through soft forks, while ETH is a hard fork. You know that Litecoin is a hard fork, right? You know that Dogecoin is a hard fork, right? There's a lot of hard forks. But that doesn't mean anything. Just because they went through a hard fork or a soft fork, just because they changed their code, right? Bitcoin still changes code. And this whole thing about if you change, somehow that ultimately defines you as a security, I don't even think that's correct. We need to have a lawyer actually explain it, but that has never been a definition of a security. You could argue, well, Ethereum did have ICO. I could see that you could probably get them on illegal token offering. Yeah, I could see that. But to say, yeah, they changed their code, so did Bitcoin. Michael, I appreciate it. Joe, I appreciate it. I got my Bobcat helium miner the other day. Anyone else have one? Congratulations. They're not easy to come by, right? Oh, LCX is not loop ring. What is LCX? They sound very familiar. LCX. I guess LCX is just LCX. Yeah, no idea. What restaurants do I eat at? All of them. I don't know. I do so much DoorDash, takeout, stuff like that. You know, I'm so sick of eating at restaurants. Try to eat healthier at home. My wife cooks sometimes, but you know, busy schedules, kids running around, stuff like that. Sometimes just no time to be cooking. But yeah. Mark Cuban is still bullish on crypto. He's more of an ETH and Matic investor with a little bit of Doge. Yeah, he's been in Matic and ETH for a while. Same thing with Kevin O'Leary. He's in ETH and Matic and several others. Been a month or so since I tuned in. Now I work as an IT user support specialist in Vegas. Hope crypto winter doesn't last too long. Cheers. Anonymous bot. Well, congratulations. And thanks for the super chat and tuning in. IT user support at what company? At a hotel or a specific company? Is my Coinbase no custodian wallet safe? I feel like we're under attack. If you have Coinbase Wallet, okay, not Coinbase itself, Coinbase Wallet is a separate app that is non-custodian. They give you a recovery phrase. That's very important. That's the most important thing. Not the app, not the phone, is that recovery phrase. So, yeah, it is. Same thing with the Trust Wallet and same thing with several other wallets, mobile wallets, and also, of course, hardware wallets. But Coinbase itself is a separate animal. Coinbase itself is custodian. So they control the keys. So there is a difference there. Are you into luxury watches? What do you think about Omega Aquaterra? You know, I used to be a fan of Omega, but I don't know all the lines. Right now, I'm just concentrating on Rolex. You know, Rolex is like a brand everyone knows, right? And even though it might not be the most expensive watch or the best watch, it's the brand everyone knows. So I'm just concentrating on Rolexes. But I don't like overpaying. So I have a couple, but I have not bought any more because I don't want to pay 3x, 4x the price. Even though I heard, oh, you know, Rolex prices are falling. No, they haven't. They're still like double or triple their original MSRP. Thoughts about Algorand? There's not much new news about Algorand. Their CEO quit, went to Cardano, which is really interesting. Or it was their CTO. I think their CTO. One of the big guys from Algorand. But yeah, they're you know, they have promise, a big impact in Latin America and El Salvador. So Gil. All right. Apple Watch killed all the snobbery. I don't know what you mean by that. Literally every single person on earth has an Apple Watch. I don't quite get it. I feel like smartwatches are a waste of money. You're doing the same thing that you could be doing on your phone, but now you have two things that you have to worry about charging all the time. I don't have a smartwatch. I just don't get them. And they don't go up in price. Rolexes do. I like to buy things that will go up in price, or at least have a chance to go up in price as an investment. Easiest hardware wallet, Ledger feels too hard for dad. I mean, all hardware wallets are somewhat complicated. I mean, they're all kind of like that. I mean, another one I've been using recently, just been testing out, is Arculus. Arculus is kind of like half-half. It's not a cold wallet because it is a mobile wallet, but it adds another layer of security with like a physical card. It's easier to learn because it's more or less like an app. But all hardware wallets pretty much operate the same. There's some complexities there. So that's one of the reasons why not everyone uses a mobile wallet. I mean, hardware wallet. But you can also look at mobile wallets. Like, start with a Trust Wallet. I think that's a really good one. A lot of people use Trust Wallet. It's been pretty solid, and it's pretty easy to use and learn. You think my 96 NSX will go up in price? Oh, man. You got a winner there. 91 NSXs go for like 100 grand. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know how many people... I don't know how many people are like actually paying those prices for the first gen NSXs, but your 96, probably if it's a stick, hopefully it's a 5-speed, right? I think that's still a 5-speed. The second gen is 6-speed, but if you have it in a min shape, you're probably fetching over 6 figures for that. If you want to get a BTC, I do think, in my opinion, I think BTC, especially at this price right now, will go up faster than that NSX, because the NSX I think is already topped out. But you do you. But yeah, NSX is just, price has been going crazy. My BTC wallet has been attacked by DCA. Well, that's a good attack. If a crypto is deemed legally a security, would it mean that it would be traded on a stock? No, it doesn't. Because obviously, you can't trade crypto on a stock, on a brokerage or the stock market. It just means that they have to be regulated. They have security, reporting requirements and all these audits they have to go through and all this stuff. It's just a big pain in the butt, really. Your 2019 NSX, that's second gen, man. That should be like 125. 125 or higher. I've seen some second gen NSXs like the, what is it? Oh no, you're the third gen. I'm sorry. Your third gen should be above. I haven't seen a third gen NSX for below 6 figures. Like 2017 ones are going for like 110, 120. So yours should be, Vincent. I was really thinking hard about getting a third gen NSX before, but the interior wasn't. I don't know. The interior seems a little off for that price range. HBU OP Optimus. I don't even know what you're saying, Marco. Gala or Sandbox? Ooh, that's a tough one. I like both. I lost a lot of money in Voyager. What are the odds I'll get even half my money back? Oh, that's tough. I would say it's more like 50-50 that you could get half your money back. But here's the asterisk. You'll get it back in the form of stock, Voyager tokens, and some crypto. So I think you'll probably get at least half back, but with these three combined. That's what they said they were going to do. So you're not just going to get half your crypto back. I think you'll get a combination of all three, which isn't optimal. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, not bad. Not bad today. Right? We got some big news. Big news. Ethereum could be saved. Solana seems like the hack. At least the vulnerability has been detected. The entry point has been detected, right? So it's a good thing that it's not the whole entire chain, because that would have been disastrous. And, there's other things going on that are pretty positive. So definitely a good time to be in crypto. Definitely be a good time to stay positive, focus on the future. And a good time to be checking out my other channels too, like my Reacts channel, my Car channel, and my I Am George channel. All right. Have a good night, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Yeah. I do have something to show you guys. The most educational XRP video you will ever see in your lifetime. I only show this, like, periodically. So you're in for a treat.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.